What is going on, gongs, chooms, solos, and netrunners? Draco Invictus here with the update for the MOAB. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, what the hell is the MOAB? What is the mother of all builds? And you have no idea what I'm talking about, you should really go look at the original series and update video that I made for the MOAB, because I'm not going to talk about every single aspect of the MOAB during this update, because a lot of stuff didn't change at all. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, there may be things that I talk about in this video that you won't understand, and I won't be going into any more depth in them. It's more of a mention. So that's why I say go watch the original series. I'll put links in the description, in the little info card up top, all of that good stuff. And I've made mention of it multiple times before, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it one more time in this video. The equipment doesn't matter. Okay, I know in part 2 of the original series, I talked about the equipment that you could pick up, and I mentioned a little bit in part 3 as well. Equipment does not matter. So if you've watched through the original series and you're like, ooh, I want that legendary piece, I want that legendary piece. In all likelihood, they have probably been moved or removed from the game, because CD Projekt Red are a bunch of cheap bastards who think that moving that shit around instead of fixing bugs at the time that they did all that was more important on a single player title. Point is this build isn't about the gear. So it doesn't matter what gear they change or get rid of or move or anything like that. This is about the setup and the versatility, not the gear. So I just wanted to get that said early and get it out of the way. Now that we've got that out of the way, here's the short of it. If you've been following the MOAB and you're to this point and you're like, oh my God, ooh, what's changed? Not much at all. Yeah, you could pretty much just not worry about it. Just go on about your day. It's true. It really is. But they have made some modifications, and I am going to talk about them in this video. So if you want to know about the new stuff, if you want to know what's changed, altered, all that good stuff, stick around for the next few minutes and we'll get you taken care of. I'm also putting timestamps for everything down in the description below, so it'll all be broken up into little chapters. So here in just a moment, when I talk about attribute points, yep, that'll be a timestamp. When I talk about perk points, that'll be a timestamp. When I talk about the cool demon motorcycle that you're not supposed to get till Act 2, but you can get it early in Act 1, if that's still a thing, yep, I'll have that there as well. And spoiler alert, it's still a thing. So I'm gonna tell you exactly when you can get the demon motorcycle, so you don't have to like hit the comment section, no, it's not working for me. Then you did something wrong. Because I'm telling you it works, and I'll tell you exactly when it works. So as long as you do it when I tell you to do it, it'll work. You'll have the motorcycle in your garage. You can call it anytime you want. So timestamps down below, all laid out for whatever it is that you're looking for. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing that we need to talk about when we're talking about the MOAB is the initial attribute points, and that hasn't changed. We're putting 3 in intelligence, 2 in tech ability, 2 in cool. Now, we do that so that we can get the most bonus perk points. Okay, I do actually go into that in greater detail in the original trilogy. If you don't remember, go back and watch that. We want to get as many bonus perk points as we can. And by the end of Act 1, you will have maxed out everything, and you will have every bonus perk point that you could possibly get at the end of Act 1. Lots of levels, lots of perk, like 30 plus perk points. How would you like to start your next run through after this one with 30 plus perk points in your pocket that you could just bam, apply, done? Yep, that is what we are doing. Okay, so like I said, 3 in intelligence, 2 in tech ability, 2 in cool. And at level 2, we're adding 1 more to intelligence, so a total of 7 for intelligence. And that's it. That's all we're doing for the rest of Act 1. If you think you want something different than that, then don't follow the MOAB. I hear comments all the time. Oh, I was thinking about doing this. Okay, so you're not doing the MOAB. Cool. That's great. Okay, you don't need my permission to change things. Just go do it. Have fun. Enjoy. single player game. This, if you want the most flexibility in subsequent playthroughs, the MOAB is the thing to play. If you want to change things up, hey, that's on you. Awesome. Let's keep going. Let's talk about perk points. This is one of the big things. I mentioned it in comments in the 1.5 update video, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the video here, so it's not just in comments. We're going to use all of our perk points. The one perk that we're not going to buy is Scrapper. Nothing has changed with that. It is still the worst. Hey, you want to take eddies out of your pocket? Pick Scrapper. If you want to keep your eddies, don't ever take this perk. Other than that one perk, we are going to pick as many perks as are unlocked to us. Why? Because at the end of Act 1, when we get ready to do our final save and we can reset our perk points, not attribute points, perk points, we can reset them for like 10 grand. It's actually less than 10 grand for this run through at the levels and street cred that I get to. It's like 8,600, and that is very cheap, and those perks will give us an easier time actually playing the game. So yeah, sure, absolutely. Go ahead and spend the perk points because we can reset them for very inexpensive later on. Now, one thing that has changed in 1.6 is the way the NCPD scanner stuff, the side hustles, show up on the map. Previous to this point, they would trickle in between other things, and they may do that in Act 2 and Act 3. We may see some more up in here, but for Act 1 alone, once you do these NCPD hustles, all the scanner stuff, you're not going to see more popping in to fill out. So the whole thing is do all those, do the gigs and cyber psycho stuff, go ahead and get that stuff done for Regina. Do all of Regina's quests, all of them, all 23 of them. And eventually you are going to get to the point where you have nothing left but main quest line. And it will be going to talk to Judy and Evelyn about the brain dance and going to talk to Jackie about Maelstrom. That's it. And maybe Meredith Stout. So yeah, once I got to the point where all I had left was main quest, I would do one of the main quests, like do the brain dance, and then I checked my map and nothing changed. And then I met with Meredith Stout, and then I checked my map, nothing changed. Because there was nothing left to do. And that's fine. Hey, that's the point that we're at. So, all right, I think this thing unlocks at Street Cred 14. It could be 15. But the Stevenson Tech Mark II, which is the same one that I suggested in the original series of the MOAB, this is the one you want. It's got 6 base RAM, 7 buffer size. It will last you all throughout Act 1. It's fantastic. And you want to hold off on doing the gigs and hustles that I mentioned in the original series about that have a lot of access points. Now, one of the things that they did do that I've noticed is they've kind of nerfed access points in given areas of the map where not every access point is going to give you eddies. But that's only in like specific buildings when you're doing gigs and hustles. When you're out in the real world and you just, oh, look, here's a random antenna that I'm going to do its access point, it'll give you eddies. So it's always great to have access to the access points, see them on the map, have the OS that makes those easier, because you're gonna make a crap ton of eddies doing it. All right, guys, as I was playing through this game, I told you guys earlier that if I found something cool, that I would bring it up so that it might be at this location. And the crafting spec for the Armadillo is right here. And where's here? Well, here is here. And where's here? There's a cyber psycho. This is the one where the Valentino gang member was caught up by the Maelstrom guys and shoved full of tech. And it was so much so fast that he went crazy. You first run into him here, then he runs here and he runs through the hallway, and then he's inside this warehouse or facility inside, and you take him down. And then I was coming back out, cleaning up as I was going along, and I found this chest with the crafting spec for the Armadillo in it. Now, this is not the only place that you will find it, but you will find it at events in the game, hopefully, because it is RNG. So I know that there are some people that can never seem to find it, but here is where I found the crafting spec for the Armadillo. Hopefully this helps you out. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You get the demon bike from the garage. Just like I've always said before, it can be done. It's all about the right timing. And when is the right timing? When you literally have nothing left on your map other than meet with Jackie for the quest, the pickup. That is when you, if you go and do it sooner and it doesn't end up in your garage like it is right here, then you don't blame me. I'm telling you right now, this is, it may be slightly sooner, but honestly, no, this is, just do it now. When you come over here to meet with Jackie, do the whole Meredith Stout thing, however you want to deal with her. And before you even talk to Jackie, come over here, then you can claim the motorcycle. But you have to make sure that everything else is done first. So it's as simple as that. You want the demon bike, you want it before Act 2, now's when you do it. All right, guys, so I wanted to take a moment and show you how I finished off Act 1, how I finished off the MOAB again, because it changes from game to game. You guys are going to have exactly the same amount of eddies because you may not even have the same amount of street cred as me, simply because I chose to find every out of the way little group of people that were standing there in 2s and 3s and 4s. There was no actual event there, but I went and killed those gangbangers and got more street cred for it. So you may have a little bit less. You may have found more guys and ended up with more street cred than me. Anyway, I wanted to share my experience of going through Act 1 again so that you guys could see exactly what we ended up with. We made it to level 19 with a street cred of 34. So pretty damn nice. That's better than any other new game plus that you can find. Around 247,000 eddies. I have not paid Vic back yet, but yeah, so we got a couple 100,000 eddies. We've got some good equipment. We have 17 attribute points to apply and a total of 34 perk points. I went ahead and reset it. It was like 8 grand to reset all the perk points. So yeah, we have a full 34 perk points. Here, right here in the apartment, in V's apartment, is where I would do my final save. That will be the springboard for everything else, every other playthrough that I'm going to do. So yeah, that's the update. I hope that you guys found some great information in here. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to hit me up down in the comment section below. I love hearing from you guys, love answering your questions. And yeah, until next time, you take care of yourselves out there. This is Draco Invictus saying this has been the best day in my life. See ya.